This here is the Marbles Trailmaker. So I don't know much about these knives. I just basically saw this on the used market and I thought to myself, I'd like to try that. And I read the specifications from the person I bought it from, because you can't search this knife online. Like, I've seen clip point version of this with a 10-inch blade. Well, this actually has a 9-inch blade with an 8.5-inch cutting edge, because here you can see there's a finger trail, so it decreases the cutting edge, with a handle that's like 4 3/4 inch, with the pommel like 5 and a bit. And the weight of this knife is 1 pound and 1 ounce, and 1 pound and 7 ounces, I think, with the sheath. As you can see, when the knife is in the sheath, it only goes to here. So that's pretty good. That's good. This sheath, by the way, it came a little bit lighter color than this, which I have another short video online. I dyed it with walrus oil, and the knife, it's not brand new. I've actually already tested it. I sharpened it after, you're gonna see this in my videos, on day one, where you see all the windy trees. The stuff that I did with it caused the edge to have little microchips, which I was expecting because of how thin it was. So I sharpened it with a 400 grit sharpener and sharpened stone, and then also what else? And then 1000 and stropped it, took it out, and things that I can notice are, it's actually fine. It was fine after the outing. I didn't have to do anything. I literally just, it cut paper right away. I don't really feel like cutting paper right now, to be honest, but it cut paper right away. It was stellar. It didn't have any problems with the edge. And then after I stropped it with a leather strop, it was even smoother. Anyway, this is the knife up close after some use. So here's the tip, which is something people don't ever show in videos. The tip held up really good, and this tip design, it's as standard as it gets. It holds up nice to hard use tasks. So I'll show off the edge first. So see, that's after the second outing, and I used it pretty hard. I even threw it at trees, something you shouldn't do with a knife. But actually, when you see the test video, like, you're gonna see that the things I did with it, I'm not ever gonna normally do with this. I just wanted to know what its limits were. And then we'll do it at this angle now. You can see there, it's a custom 2002 marble. I'm guessing they requested drop point. That's why it became a custom. I'm not sure if these usually come in clip point or drop point. This is the Marbles logo. Marbles logo. Marbles on the snap. Let's get a far out view. There it is in my hand. So something I'll say for my hand is that's a little bit closer comfort, that choil. So maybe I'll extend that out just a tiny bit soon, or round it off, but it'd be worth it, considering that using the choil is quite nice for fine cutting. Okay, so now that you've seen the knife, let's do a comparison. First thing I'm going to compare it to is a standard Bowie knife. Here's the shining mountain bowie. So just to show you how big it stacks up to a knife that a lot of people know. That's a wax coating on the bowie, by the way. And I'm going to be putting this grip tape on this, just it'll make it a lot better for actual use. Aluminum guard, brass, shining mountain bowie. This is a great knife. They're, just so you know, they're both a 1/4 inch thick. I don't know if you can see it. They're basically the same thickness, basically. And then there's the tip. Let's see if I can grab this. Actually, yeah, there we go. There's a comparison of the tips. So, I mean, the shining mountain bowie is just a beefier knife, but that's the size of it. I'll turn it around. There we go. And then another knife we'll put it against is another one I think in the same category. And this knife is thicker than both of these, is the Bark River Bravo, or sorry, the Bark River Crusader. So here's the Crusader. This is an exceptional knife. This is one of the best knives I've ever used. And I will easily say that on any day, if I had to even think about which knife I was going to take out, without any thought, I would pick the Crusader first. And if I wanted to have one knife for the rest of my life, it'd probably be this. And yeah, so the thing about these 3 knives on the table is these 3 knives I realized I love to use. I love using this knife. It is surprisingly good. Its balance, like look, its balance is basically right there. It just feels nicely balanced everywhere. This knife, the balance is more blade heavy, because it's more than a 1/4 inch thick, so it feels forward, so you get a little bit of fatigue in using this, so you're always wanting to hold it by the choil to get that balance. This knife, well, that's forward as can be, but that's typical for a bowie, right? That's where the balance point is there. Anyway, enough of those. Oh yeah, if you want to see the clip on this, it's a beautiful clip design. It's black canvas micarta, back parts ground off. Anyway, one of my go-to knives, the Bark River Taupe Recon. And another knife that's really worth mentioning is these Work Tough Gear Pouzon Wilderness Bowie. One of my most used knife last year because of the simple full tang choil design. Yeah, I put this knife there because this is the second most carried knife I have. This is like, I have 2 of these, the other one's in my video, because for a knife that's just like on an easy hike with friends where it's nonchalant, this is such a great companion. It's thin enough, good design, can do some stuff scraping wood or something like that. But yeah, there's some size comparisons. Great knife. But long story short, that's it for this beautiful piece. This is a knife that I can say that if I would have got this 10 years ago, I would have saved a lot of money. Yeah, like the Shining Mountain Bowie, this comes in A2 tool steel, and as you can see, this one's quite used, and the performance of steel is amazing. This comes in 5160, and it's amazing. And like, you know, another really used knife I have, use this quite a bit on adventures, the 3V steel, it's phenomenal. There it is, you can see it's Bark River 3V, and this one we'll say Bark River A2. It's good, remember, 3V can't be sharpened that easily, even though it's darn tough stuff. Like, I don't think anything comes close to what I've seen 3V and A2 do for toughness, except for until now, which I don't know in my childhood if I've ever experienced it, but 5160 spring steel done right is great. Highly recommend, if you ever see a Marbles Trailmaker, you should consider picking it up. I don't even know what they're worth, but yeah, this is a great surprising knife. Okay, so I know someone's house is down there. It's the beginning of the trail. So because of the beginning of the trail, we're gonna give this Marbles Trailmaker a try. I know it's a drop point. I didn't even know those drop points existed until I saw this on the used market, but I've given this a cut before, and what I come on, stick in there. Oh, it's too dry. Okay, anyway, let's well, here, I'll just put the knife down the scary way like this. The knife that I'm gonna cut with is this Bravo Toke Recon in 3V steel. Like, oh, the knife moved. This is a great knife. Okay, so let's just see how this goes. If the edge gets damaged at all. 'Cause it feels pretty thin, but 5160 steel is supposed to be amazing. So here we go. Okay, we have to hold it back here like this. Okay, so one thing I can tell you is that, okay, so right now the edge is totally fine, and holding the palm hole like this in your normal chopping grip, it's actually not very comfortable. I'm gonna hold it like this now. Okay, this pommel, it wears out hands. Like, my tips are getting a little bit red here. Okay. Okay. First test of 5160 carbon steel. It looks... so far, so good. It looks like a hawk or a golden eagle. There's another one over to my left. That's pretty cool. Let's see if it comes up. They are right here. One got so close I could hear it whizzing by, and I was like, oh crap, I wish I was still recording. So the wind has really picked up. I mean, look how much movement is in these trees. I've actually seen 2 trees fall so far. So I actually might turn around. Whoa, that's a lot of flex. You know, sometimes when you're hiking, that's it. You got to make decisions like, should I go forward? Do I have enough water? Do I have the right gear? Do I have sunscreen? Do I feel sick? Is the wind picking up so much that a tree might fall on you? Because I saw a tree fall just like 3 minutes ago, and I don't want that to be me. And I really want to keep testing this knife, but critter in there is watching me. Well, you better watch out, because the Trailmaker's coming for you. Very sharp knife. Very sharp knife. I mean, watch this. Didn't have a good handle on it. But anyway, we'll take this for later. And now we'll work on this one without cutting off my hand. Here. Let's cut this off here. All right. So one of the problems with, here's my two sticks, with leather sheaths is when you have to go resheath your knife, so I'm a bit of a bigger dude, you have to be careful in how you do this, because if you are not, good, it'll go through the back of the sheath and go through your leg, and I did that once when I was a kid. So, you know, there's a reason why I like Kydex sheaths. Let's work on doing this. Okay, so this thing cuts really good, so let's work on, let's get closer. This knife's really sharp. Man. Okay, so there you go. Sharp enough for a weenie. Yeah. I mean, here is how it looks up close. Let's see here. Yeah, right there. Yeah. Okay, so you can see how the clean cut looks. Some in-air chops. So this wood just likes to bite, eh? Okay. Okay. Chest peeling maneuver. So right here, the way the guard is, see that? How it pulls in my hand? That's a comfortable, and then also this pommel makes it comfortable to do a chest lever. So, well, let's make this into a spear point, which can help for protection. Oh man, this wood is... Okay, you know what? For comparison's sake, let me just get out my taupe recon. Here it is to do chest levers and all this with. Okay, it's not that good. Yeah, like, I think this would be a great camp knife, great fun knife. It's good. It's a good knife. Let's try doing just a cross chop to this. It's looking good. It's looking good. All right, this might be a good place to try doing some tip stuff. So let's just see here. Just so we can see what's inside the log. Now we're getting down to the hard part. So if you want to see, okay, so here's the tip that I'm working with. It is a drop point. By the way, this is a 1/4 inch blade, 1/4 inch thick blade, just for some context right now. But okay, so there's the hard part. You know, when they reach something hard, they do a full dig. That is a stupid idea. Okay, seems to be doing quite good. I mean, as a comparison, so let's put this knife way over here. Good looking knife. Let's grab the Bark River Taupe Recon. Let's do the same thing. Only thing that sucks about this is I have this cool pommel, but so I gotta put my thumb on the side. And oh yeah, another thing too is that because you don't have the guard that this has here, you gotta be careful of your hand going down. So in that case, you do have to put your thumb on top. Okay, let's do some of the same stuff we were doing before. Okay, so obviously the tip is golden because this is a thinner blade, but it's 3V and it's got a nice harpoon to it. So this is these Bark River handles are pretty nice. Not gonna lie. So you can see where I'm digging into there. Okay. So this thing can sure dig a tree, and it looks perfect. It looks straight. Looks very straight to my eye. So now, let's hide this knife here. And let's talk about why I brought the Bark River Taupe Recon as the knife to put it against, even though it's a Bowie. Well, I brought it because the Taupe Recon, for a 7.5 inch blade, it doesn't weigh very much. So I didn't have to carry a lot of weight up here. So it's the knife I got, but I also really like that knife. I always like to carry it on light hikes. It's a good tool. It makes fires well. I've done everything with it. I've got some videos on YouTube. You can take a look at it anytime. Yeah, just a really good knife. Really good knife. But, you know, there's positives to having this on a knife that I'm starting to notice today. And there's positives to the Bark River Generation 2 handle. It is, it's a nice handle. Yeah, So let's give it a note. Okay, so this is still perfectly, wait, yep, perfectly straight knife. I guess in the camera it might look like it's bent, but it's actually the light. I'll see if I can zoom in. Okay, there you can see it's perfectly straight, right? If you see the background grain. Okay, well, this is a cool knife. Like, why isn't something like this produced more? I would maybe change the pommel a bit to a bit more like, ergonomic design, but that's okay. This is great. So this tree is down, so it's gonna block the trail, knock another tree. So let's fix that. This pommel, it kind of hurts. Not gonna lie. This tree must have just fallen over yesterday with a big wind. Missed. Anyway. There we go. This knife's interesting. Like, it's not too heavy, not too small. It feels light. Surprised there's not more knives like this. I guess I should record some of this, but this is, I guess, what they call the Trailmaker. Like, it's set up in a way where it just does really good. You see how it just slices little things. At clearing trails, it's not too thick, not too thin, full height convex grind, good 5160 carbon steel. A lot of positives here. Good. couldn't ask for a harder baton to use. Okay. Come on, split. Okay, so let's take a look at the edge. So, the edge, after me abusing it, it looks totally fine. By the way, the reason why it looks so discolored is because it's sharpened, but yeah, like, I don't see a single chip. Oh, what's this? No, that was just dust. That was just dust. This knife, 5160 is pretty good steel.